You don't notice it at first. It starts quietly. You reread a message before sending it. You replay a conversation hours later, wondering if your tone was wrong. You feel responsible for moods that aren't yours. And somewhere along the way, you begin to realize something unsettling. You care more than most people do. About how others feel. About how situations unfold. About not disappointing, not hurting, not being too much or not enough. If this feels uncomfortably familiar, this isn't an accident. This is for you. People who care too much are often misunderstood. From the outside, it can look like sensitivity, overthinking, or emotional dependence. But inside, it feels very different. It feels like vigilance, like constantly scanning the emotional weather of the room, adjusting yourself to keep the peace. It feels like love mixed with fear, like empathy stretched so far it begins to hurt. And the truth is, you didn't wake up one day and choose to be this way. This pattern was shaped slowly, quietly, by experiences that taught you caring was how you stayed safe. Psychologically, caring too much is rarely about weakness. It's about adaptation. Many people who overcare grew up in environments where emotional awareness was necessary for survival. Maybe love felt conditional. Maybe anger in others felt unpredictable. Maybe you learned early that being attentive, helpful, or emotionally available reduced conflict. Your nervous system learned a powerful lesson. If you stay alert and meet everyone else's needs, you might avoid pain. Over time, that alertness becomes automatic. You don't even realize you're doing it anymore. Neuroscience helps explain why this feels so intense. Your brain's threat detection system, especially the amygdala, becomes finely tuned to emotional shifts. A sigh, a pause, a change in tone can trigger a cascade of internal alarms. Your body reacts before logic steps in. Your heart tightens. Your mind rushes to fix, explain, apologize, or rescue. This isn't drama. It's conditioning. Your brain is trying to protect you using strategies that once worked. Even if they're exhausting now, caring too much also comes from empathy, and that's important to say out loud. You feel deeply because you can imagine deeply. You don't just hear words. You feel what's underneath them. You notice subtle cues others miss. You sense emotional undercurrents. This makes you a safe place for people. Friends confide in you. Strangers open up unexpectedly. You understand pain without needing it explained. That's not a flaw. That's a rare human capacity. But here's the quiet cost no one talks about. When you care too much, you slowly disappear from your own life. Your needs get postponed. Your boundaries blur. You say it's fine when it isn't because explaining feels like a burden. You give more than you receive and then tell yourself you don't mind. But your body remembers. It remembers intention, fatigue, resentment you feel guilty for having. You start confusing self-sacrifice with love. There's also a hidden belief running underneath all of this, that your worth is tied to how useful, understanding, or accommodating you are. If you're needed, you're safe. If you're needed, you belong. So you become the one who checks in, who smooths things over, who holds space, even when you're breaking inside. And when someone pulls away or doesn't reciprocate, it doesn't just hurt. It feels like confirmation of your deepest fear, that without effort, you are replaceable. Society often romanticizes this trait. We praise selflessness, emotional availability, and being the strong one, but we rarely ask who takes care of the caretaker. People who care too much are praised until they ask for something back. Then they're called sensitive, needy, or dramatic. So you learn to stay quiet, to downplay your pain, to tell yourself others have it worse. This silence doesn't make you stronger. It makes you lonelier. There is a healthy side to caring deeply, and it matters not to lose sight of that. Your compassion creates connection. Your sensitivity allows for intimacy. Your emotional depth gives life texture and meaning. The goal isn't to stop caring. The goal is to stop abandoning yourself in the process. Healthy caring has boundaries. It recognizes where your responsibility ends and someone else's begins. Unhealthy caring feels like control disguised as concern, like carrying emotional weights that were never yours to hold. At some point, usually after burnout or heartbreak, something begins to shift. You start noticing how drained you feel, how anxious, how resentful. You may feel guilty for even thinking this, but part of you wonders what it would be like to care a little less. Not in a cold way, in a peaceful way, in a way that lets you breathe. This is not selfishness. This is your nervous system asking for rest. Learning to care differently is uncomfortable at first. You may feel selfish for setting boundaries. You may fear losing people if you stop overgiving. But here's the quiet truth. The people who only stay because you overextend were never really staying for you. And the ones who matter will adjust. They'll meet you in the space where care flows both ways. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to prove your value through exhaustion. You are allowed to let people manage their own emotions. You are allowed to pause before fixing. You are allowed to choose yourself without guilt. Caring too much doesn't make you broken. It means you learned love through vigilance instead of safety. And that can be unlearned, gently, with time. So if you're someone who feels everything deeply, who worries about everyone, who holds more than your share of emotional weight, know this: your sensitivity is not the problem. The absence of balance is. Healing doesn't mean becoming indifferent. It means becoming selective. It means offering your care where it is received, not where it is exploited. It means including yourself in the circle of people you show compassion to. As you sit with this, maybe late at night, maybe quietly nodding along, ask yourself one honest question. What would change in your life if you cared for yourself with the same intensity you give to others? And when you're ready, start there. Just a little. Just enough to remind yourself that you, too, are worth caring about.